So we live and we're having fun backstage. Greetings, everyone, to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. Um, we got a
Live from
bunch of
New York.
videos, and we feel playful and creative in the middle of summertime. I want to thank the presence of my co-host Baraka, my co-hostess Miss Bliss Deborah, and
Yay!
our featured guests tonight is Lloyd Strayhorn
Thank you.
and Nicki Monty.
Yay!
Yay! So we're gonna have fun. I want to thank the creative energy flow right now because Miss Bliss, she put together a really nice intro. But
Oh
before we do,
yeah.
we're gonna have Baraka take us down to the beach. You ready to take us to the beach, brother?
Let's go.
Let's go.
A call to action. The time is now. Summon the warrior energy in you, the healer in you, the divine masculine, the divine feminine energy in you. Every single day, we are called to walk in our purpose. Answer the call. Lay down your burdens, distractions, and anything that's holding you back and take your rightful place. The battle is all around us, and it's right in your face. Let's go!
Ashe, Ashe, that was real smooth, brother.
I
Thank
like
you.
that. I like that, Baraka.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Lloyd. Thank you, Lloyd.
that was cool.
Working on
And
it.
I want to put this up now because Miss Bliss, Deborah, you really did a number on this beautiful flyer, and I want to feature this right now. So here's Deborah's genius in the flow.
Beautiful.
Nice.
All I can see is, oh yeah, I played that
I
a
didn't know you
number
had.
of times.
It got a nice, it got a nice bass line.
Did somebody,
And I'm a bassist.
did somebody say play a number?
If I
Somebody playing
have
a
a
number?
bass thing and it doom 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 doom, like that was right up my alley. I says, all right, I like that. And in
Yeah,
fact, I
Yeah,
got
that was
comments
hot.
when I posted it too.
yeah. Well, welcome everybody
Yeah, bro.
to Magnets, Crystals, and Pyramids. The comments are coming up in the chat, and I'll try to post everyone's comments as we flow into the evening. Um, we're going to do our invocation and invite our ascended master ancestors. I am in me. I am in Lloyd Strayhorn. I am in Miss Bliss Deborah. I am in Baraka. I am in Nicki Monty. I am in you, the listening audience. And I am in the sea of existence, the boundlessness of creation. In the name of love, we call upon our ancestral ascended masters, Yahshua, Melchizedek, Enoch, who became Metatron, Black Madonna, Mother Mary, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Seraphis Bey, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Saint Germain, Nikolai Tesla, Geronimo, Chief Osceola, Nat Turner, John Brown, Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, Chief Seattle, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, Mary McLeod Bethune, P.B. Randolph, Fred Sanford, Richard Pryor, Moms Mabley. We're going to ask you to come on and have fun with us tonight. Speak through us. Also ask the presence of Master Himalayas and Buddhas, Krishnas be with us tonight. Elegba, Oshun, Yemaya, Olokun, Oya, Shango, Ogun, Obatala, Ochosi. May the spirit of Olodumare be with us. Be with us. Aset, Asar, who lives inside the acacia tree. Tahuti, Shashat, be with us. And Archangel Michael, may you protect all our family, friends, and loved ones, wherever they may be, on this spaceship Earth as we ride in the surface dome. Where we're going is kind of unknown, and perhaps we'll get some clarity tonight with Lloyd Strayhorn and Nicki Monty. And we say together, Ashe.
I say,
Wado. Yep. Okay. Lloyd, you was on the I don't you was on channel 11 recently, man. They got this mega what's that number going to be played? When are they going to do the lotto, man?
tonight,
Tonight?
yes,
What
on,
time?
I think it was about 10, but on Tuesday when I was on, no, it comes on Wednesday, but Wednesday or Tuesday, whenever it was Tuesday. But the drawing at that time was $810 million.
Whoa.
Tonight, Friday, it is worth $1.50 billion or something like that. It's more money than we got combined. That's for sure.
Billion.
Man, we got to disappear if anybody in here gets a hit and y'all just do the ghost on us. We
Yeah,
will
but you know what I
understand.
was explaining, like everything are numbers, and that's the whole point of Nikki and I being on today, which I refer to her respectfully as Master Nikki because she is the master of sonic sound.
Are you talking about this pretty woman right here?
Yeah, I think I know. I think I met her somewhere before in a supermarket.
All right, all right. Well, thank you for being present, Nikki, Master Nikki, and thank you, Baraka, Deborah, and Lloyd. Tell us some.
Yeah.
Give us some hints, man. What numbers should we be playing tonight? And then we gotta drop our phone.
Well, I'll say this quickly. Since the odds is over 302 million to one, which is, I mean, even getting struck by lightning, as I mentioned, is less than a million to one with a 90% chance of survival. A woman getting pregnant, well, getting pregnant with triplets is 1 in 10,000. So imagine with 302 million against you. So as the woman host said yesterday, it ain't happening. So, but somebody will get it eventually. But the largest amount that was played and won on June the 16th of 2013 or 2016 was $1,586,000,000.
What?
That's the
Goodness.
largest prize.
That's crazy. And what
One
happened after that?
billion. Well, the government took over half of it. First of all,
Wow.
Oh, oh,
That's a lot of pesos.
yeah, man. That's
but
a
you have
lot
a
of
lot of
loot.
pesos left over too. Second prize over this 810, even if it's one point something billion today, the second prize that you win is $1 million. See, because what happens is they broke it into two divisions. They broke it into two tiers. Tier number one is numbers from 1 to 70. So you got to figure out which numbers, and you only got five to choose from. Then tier number two are the Powerballs, and that only goes from 1 to 25. So you got to figure out which ones to play. So when you put all those odds together, that's exactly why it was. But it wasn't that way when Mega started on September the 6th of 1996. In fact, in 6 states. It
Mm.
started in 6 states on September the 6th, being Maryland, Illinois, Massachusetts, Michigan, Virginia, stuff like that, and Georgia. In fact, Georgia was the first one to carry since Master Nicky's out of Atlanta. It was the first state to carry the makeup.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. I see our brother David is in the audience and Sister Laida Herb.
Hey, David. Hi, Laida.
Yeah, I want to say hello to everybody who's making comments. Peace, peace, peace. Appreciate you being here on a Friday night. Um, Nikki, you know what? I did a.
We should
I don't
start a
know. I was
pool.
before we start. I'm going to say that Miss Bliss, Baraka, Lloyd, Nicki Gong. Y'all inspired me today. Like I said, felt like laying down, and I think it might be that San Pedro still in my system because I was like, something say, take your ass to bed, go lay down. And when I laid down, I started saying like, oh man, let me see what I could do creatively. And so I did this, and this is a tribute to first and foremost because Deborah, you got the fire going. You know, kids back then they probably kept you away from matches because you probably was starting some stuff back in the day. And so I wanted to share this because this came down, and this is a tribute to you, Lloyd, and you, Nikki Monty. All right.
Wow, I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I'm stuck on high.
And you know,
Yeah,
I'm
that
counting
was
the
nice.
circles. You know, I'm counting the number of circles because I got issues.
I'm gonna tell you, I think I'm just continuously funked up. I think I'm stuck in a high cruise and I ain't coming down. You know. And then I got up and my cat followed me here. And he just stretched out on the floor. He's like, "Yeah, you fucked up, man." All right, I'm sorry for cursing y'all. But, I feel like that San Pedro got me continuously high as okay.
And you going for a second dose in a couple of
Yeah, I
days.
want to reinforce it.
Mm.
Yo, my life is a continuous synchronicity, man.
Yo, man, tell me what.
Everywhere I
Yo,
go,
why you
I'm
here?
meeting people.
Before we begin, Lloyd, we got to hear this from Baraka. Bring it forth, bro. What happened since they made you high on that mountain, man?
Oh man. So like I was saying, I mean, life itself is one huge synchronicity. It's like
Wow.
everywhere I go, I'm bumping into people that was just on my mind. I'm seeing my numbers everywhere, literally everywhere all day long. Um, Today I had to go pick up my daughter from the airport, and Linden Boulevard was backed up, and I didn't even stress. And then guess what? I wasn't even late. I was right on time. So it's like, listen, man, I'm in cruise control. You know what I mean? I'm like sliding down the hill.
Wow.
You know, that's where I'm at with it.
Let me tell you, Lloyd, there's some ancient Native American medicine. And what it seems like, like I said before on the show, and I thank you again, Lloyd, for having me on your platform. But I refer to our conscious folks, conscious community as a dysfunctional junkyard of wounded souls with grease
Hmm.
in the bloodstream.
Greece.
Grease, chicken grease,
Mhm.
buffalo grease, oxtail, and we get taken out by grease.
Wow,
But going up on
that's
the
hilarious.
mountain, Nikki and Lloyd went up on this mountain and did this medicine called San Pedro. And what it seemed to do to the heart chakra, it almost fills it up. It like pressurizes it like a basketball so that it's a solid spherical, I don't give a fuck what you say. And you radiate and glow and everything just falls in place. And I don't mean to curse, but the thing is just amazing. And what Baraka just said is like confirmation of this incredible experience. And I'm going back. But it also seems like Lloyd, Nikki, Wachuma activates your supernatural gifts.
Yes, it does.
And Miss Bliss is proof of that. Because
Yeah,
she's been
I
seeing dead
feel
folks and I've been telling her, I've been coaching her.
Oh my
Yo,
God.
she hears the trees whispering to her. And I'm gonna find out what the numbers are through Miss Bliss, and then she's gonna disappear. And I don't know what to do with the ticket. I probably should flush it. But coming back to sounds, Lloyd,
What the
it's Friday
trees
night.
say?
Bear
What the
with me,
trees say,
brother.
Debbie? Okay, yeah, let's get focused.
Yeah, let's start class. Um, sounds, numbers. I want to bring y'all forward. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Lloyd, what is the number of God?
That's interesting because God's number would be under the Chaldean system 14. Yes, or
Whoa.
5, which is always indicative of change. And if you notice, the only thing that's constant in life is change. When we came upon this earth, we were all wet, slippery, little. Now we all grown adults. I tell people jokingly, now we're ugly and stuff, but we change, we mutate, and although we stop growing in height, then we start growing spiritually, mentally, things of that nature in terms of our emotions, our goals, our directions. But the nice thing about having Nikki and I on is because what we do is so much in common, which is sound.
Mm.
Sound, it's interesting. When you deal with the piano, it starts with middle C, then high C, and it goes 7 letters A, B, C, D. Well, each of those letters on the keys of the piano has a sound or a resonance. Well, that's what Nicki Monty does, Master Nicki Monty. That's what she does. That's why she's a sonic alchemist. And for those of you who may have seen her on my shows, when I told her to have all her gongs in display, all her bowls in display, all
Wow.
her tuning forks in display, it is amazing. They have now used sound to break up different things within the body so they don't have to use invasiveness. But sound sets off a frequency, and nobody does it better than the person right to my left, your right.
You know what? This was deep. I never asked the question, what is the number of God? And you said the number 14, or did you say the number 5?
14 and 1 plus 4 is 5.
Because the name Allah is 5 letters.
Yes, it is.
And then my 5% of brothers said the meaning of Allah is arm, leg, arm, head.
That's right. The 5, I mean, so that's why you have, I forgot that there's this drawing or illustration of the guy standing out. His legs are extended, his hands are extended, his head's
Oh,
five
yeah.
points. Then they
Yeah.
have 5 pointed stars.
Yeah.
So no matter whether you do 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 7, there's always something about numbers. So with 7, most of the founders of great religious movements have been 7, from Elijah Muhammad to Billy Graham to Bishop Desmond Tutu to Buddha to Charles Russell to Mary Baker Eddy. All of these people were founders of religious movements. And if a
Wow.
person goes to uh, uh, Mecca and goes to Medina and makes his Hajj, you got to circle the stone 7 times. So then you talk about 6, which we were talking about the other day. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. I mean, so no matter what you do, the five senses, 5 toes, 5 fingers, 4 foundations. So no matter what number you have, you do it. And the beautiful part about it is that once I was blessed to meet Master Nikki in Atlanta and found out what she did, that's why I invited her on, because sound does everything. That's why you have some people that have a very pleasant voice with a resonance to it, and then you have some people with a very squeaky voice, almost like kind of like squeaky ears. But these are the things, and nobody does it better with her than illustrating it through her bowls. I had the pleasure of being in her home, seeing the gongs, and there's one gong that's, I call it the granddaddy. When you hear this gong, and in fact, in my mind, she said she got it behind her. In my mind, when I meditate in the morning, because I'm a musician and I'm very musical ear. When I'm meditating in the morning, that grandma gong is what I hear, and for me, it sends blood throughout my brain. I can't
Mhm.
explain it, but that's the importance
Mhm.
of sound. That's the importance of Master Nikki.
Wow. So, Nikki, is it possible that you can give us a sample of a tap of the gong, perhaps.
Sure.
All right. So let me bring her forward, y'all.
Excuse all the noise.
That's all right. That's all right.
So this is grandfather,
Yeah,
and
that's the one.
grandfather.
That's the one, Lloyd, you talking
Oh yeah.
about?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When you hear that one, boy, that's like it just sends vibrations through your body. But this is what numbers and frequencies do.
Yeah. Well, y'all better put on some headphones. I'm putting my headphones on. Go ahead.
So again, like last time, sometimes it may come out a little more clear on
Mm-hmm.
some different devices and things of that nature. So if you have headphones, it's recommended. If not, try to listen later. Let me know if it is a little bit too loud or anything of that nature. But I just want to make sure that people have an idea. So I have five, but this one is like the bassy screamer. So I
Wow.
utilize this in my ceremonies as well. So when I have someone laying on my table and, all white Egyptian cotton sheets, nice, pillows and smells going on in this lighting, this will be at their feet. So the frequency, the pressure of this, because it sits at 46 hertz or 48, one of the two. And that is within the first, I believe, within the first octave. And what this does is the pressure gets into your body and it starts talking to your cells and your nervous system. So this is what it sounds like. And I also use this large mallet so that I can pull forth the deeper tones.
You can go a little louder or a
I
little
was going to
harder.
say, Master Nikki, if you
We're
could hit it just
ready.
a little louder, because especially
We're
when
ready.
as soon as you hit that center, that thing said boo you 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 you.
Yeah, because the center is the most gentle part of the gong, so you don't really play it too hard. Let me see if I can get it a little better here. And I'll add
I
some.
want to feel the vibration waves.
Yeah,
You
You
go
see
ahead,
how it's
Deborah.
folk
I'm
acting
the
on
same
On a
way.
Friday night?
Yeah, yeah, vibe this place.
oh, hold on one second. All right, there you go.
Mm.
And this is the sound I'm able to duplicate in my mind when I'm meditating.
Lady, you need to put on headphones if you can't hear it.
Master Nikki, that sounds so beautiful, and it kind of makes me feel very calm and meditative.
Yep, yep. And
Is
that's
that
what
what
I
it does to everybody?
do. Yeah, Master Nikki.
I'm here. Let me get this back. Ooh, fix my lights.
I knew I wasn't bugging.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you for that.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Ma- Master Nikki, that made me feel so calm, and it made me feel like I was ready to meditate.
Mhm.
Is that one of the effects of the vibrations of the gong? You said 46 hertz, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So it's so deep. It's getting to the
Nikki, you need to turn the volume up because we
Up with
can't
the
hardly
mic
hear you.
towards you. Yes.
Yeah. We
Got you. Is
want to
that
hear
better?
your gong voice,
Yeah,
Master
Yes, is
that's
that
Nikki.
better.
better? Okay.
Yeah.
So the main thing is that when you're getting in front of it, there's levels and stages to consciousness and within your body and outside of your body. So I always say if you want to get to the meat and the bones of a matter, you start on the first level. And the first
Mm.
octave, second octave would be kind of like the first level. And this would be considered my first level because it's so deep. It gets you into this state, it gets into your nervous system, it relaxes you, it puts you at ease, but then it starts to awaken things within you because it's so deep. It's literally creating space within your cells and between your cells. So this is working on your blood, on your bones, on your organs, and all different kinds of things that are going on within your body. If you're very active and your nervous system is like, constantly on 10 with all the frequencies that are in the phones and in the towers and in our homes with electronics and all of those things, your body's constantly in a state of fight or flight, trying to get back to
Mm.
that oneness, to that state of resonance with harmony within your body. And it's very difficult to do if you don't have something to bring you back to that center. And sound is something that resonates with all of us. It is frequency, it is numbers, it is the universal healer, it is the first besides light. And I always say that it's the first healer besides light because we need our sun. The sun emanates frequencies, and the sound emanates frequencies that are composed of harmonious musical scales that reside within us. So this is going to do exactly what your body needs it to do, which is to get into that state of peace, knowing, understanding, um, recalibrating, so that you can walk in your oneness. This is about purpose. So getting back to that relaxed state where you can think, where you can be, where you can exist in wholeness, that's what these gongs do. And when you get to the lower octaves, even when you're humming, especially men when they talk, their voice usually sits within second, third octave. One of my favorite singers is Barry White. So I love when he, when he talks and when he would sing, and he was also a master at creating and composing. So he understood very clearly, and the way that he utilized his voice in these finite intricacies and really brought forth a consciousness of love and compassion and togetherness with his music is the same thing that the gongs do within our body. So I always think of that, our voice and how we speak. And when we're talking, woman to woman, man to woman, our voice says a lot. And it also speaks our truth. So sound is the truth for
And you
me.
know
It's
what's
it's the only
interesting to
truth.
me is that I don't know whether you know it or not, but Barry White is born 4 days after you. He's born on the 12th of September.
No way.
Because of, yes,
Oh, so it's a
Wow.
yes,
Virgo thing.
the
Wow.
12th.
Yeah.
One of when
Mhm.
I met him at WBLS
Mas-
radio back in the day, one of the
Mhm.
nicest guys, and he was into numerology. I autographed the book for him.
Sweetness is my
Wow.
weakness.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, Nikki, I feel a little high today. I was just imagining you doing a voiceover with Barry. You know,
I tell her I love her voice. I love her
yeah,
voice.
because you really have a voice. It's almost as if you sound like you're speaking from your womb.
Mm.
And you induce trance just by listening to you say your ABCs. You'll be like, yeah, I got it.
Well, thank you.
And you know
It,
what?
it,
Numerically, six is one of her numbers, and
Mm.
six is Deborah's numbers. And Deborah has a very nice voice. Where my thing is, girl. You can talk to me all night long. You ain't even got to touch me. Just talk to me. I'm good.
Wow,
All
you're
night
right,
long.
Lloyd. I know this other sister who's a 6, and she got the sweetest voice.
Mhm.
Wow.
The six rules of vocal cords. It
Wow.
rules the nose, the
Mm.
throat, the respiratory
Mm.
system, the heart palpitations. So
Mm.
therefore, any health challenges will probably always be with the respiratory part of the body. Allergies, hay fever, things of that nature. If you ever go through that, especially during what they call allergy seasons, and all
Now
depending.
with all this medicine that I'm taking,
Oh
between the
man.
rapid, the changa, the bufo, and now the San Pedro, it's just working through me. But I
Yeah.
will say, Nicki, I could feel like a vibration starting in my legs when
Hmm.
you were playing the gong. So even though you're not here with me, it's like it's traveling through the computer. So have you ever heard that before? Or like what do you prefer people to be in front of you? Their healing
Yeah.
transfer to the computer?
Well, my personal opinion is that if you want to sit in front of the master, which is the gong, I just sit with the master. So if you want to sit with the master, it would be the best thing. And simply because you actually get to experience it and the alchemical aspects. If someone affords you the opportunity to play or to speak to it or anything like that, or to even touch it, it's literally alchemical. So there's about 7 metals that they use, that they fuse together: brass, bronze, aluminum, nickel, iron, palladium, and gold, or platinum and gold, all together. And when you get to touch it, it does something to your body. So when you play it, it does something to your body. So I always say, try to get in front of it as best as you can. At this time, I'm looking to offer online, but I don't like to half-ass do anything or make a half-ass suggestion, because I want to make sure that when people are experiencing it, they're getting the full spectrum. There's things that you miss as far as resonance, because they carry for it's still ringing, right? So if you
Right.
sit close
Right.
enough, it'll
Right.
start humming to you and putting you to sleep and
Mm.
massaging you, and you start crying, or emotional outbursts and things like that. Like, especially when I came home from my Wachuma experience, it was nothing. I could sit in front of it for hours and I would just be crying, because I was so grateful, because it is still essence of the earth that has been molded and shaped from these secrets that go back thousands of years. And the earth has literally assisted in, along with the ancestors, or the whatever energies that came forth to bring forth this secret. It's literally chaos magic. So whatever you have going on, it's breaking it up, and you're giving yourself the opportunity, whether you want to or not, to experience change within your body and your spirit.
Wow,
Mm,
that's deep. That's why I
wow.
put you up here with
That's
me and
Nikki.
Baraka.
Yeah.
Super giving
Not
that to you, Lloyd.
Oh, I like
not
this
only are
being
you
next to
healing
Deborah.
people,
Deborah's cool.
you're healing yourself too.
Yeah.
Yes, I have to. I
Hmm.
always tell people, I wish they could all sit next to me, because I literally always have the best seat in the house. I literally do. And it's like it's very fortunate, because as I'm doing work with others, assisting others, not healing them, because we all are healing ourselves. Just an opportunity presents itself to us, and then the medicine shows up, whether it be plant, animal, or sound, or tantra, or qigong, or breath work. We're allowing ourselves to have these experiences. So when it shows up, it's going to do what it needs to do, whether you think it is or not, no matter how minuscule or how much time or whatever. It's very beautiful. So I always tell people, get as close as you can when I'm in group sessions. Get as close as you can. Lay your head this way.
Yeah.
Let it hit.
Yeah.
Go down your tree of life, which is your spine and your nervous system and your brain. Let it activate and work on your lymph nodes and clear you out. It's very beautiful. It's
Now,
a
let me
medicine in
ask you
itself.
this though. What about bowls? Because you deal with bowls too. Bowls have a whole different sound. Is it possible you can bring a bowl up so they can? I don't mean to drag you into this, but there's different levels of sound, because see,
Yes, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
these sounds, these sounds represent numbers. That's and I'll put it like this: sound represents numbers, and numbers represent sound. This is why a musician can read or whatever the case is. It's just amazing, and it's all connected. Everything we do are numbers. So there's a frequency within Deborah, within you, Baraka, within Hank, Nikki, myself, and everybody. This is why our voice levels are different. You have some people whose voices are very deep, like a Barry White, or very light, like a Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
I love
saying? They
Michael
serve a
Jackson.
purpose, but we all just have a different energy level.
I remember one time, Lloyd, Baraka, Deborah, Nikki, family. I put a singing bowl on my head.
Like this.
Yeah, Baraka, you remember you did that?
It's, it's the best thing.
It is.
It is
Yes.
the best thing.
It feels so
Yes.
good.
I remember. Yeah, that was hot.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking
when
for
you
mine now.
I didn't want to stop.
Yeah, so when you do it like this, it is literally at your cerebral what do you call it? The sutures,
Cortex.
where all the sutures connect. So if I was to sit this here, it's literally at the top of my skull where my cranial sacral points meet all of my sutures, where the opening is when you're a baby, and then it closes up over time. This is where the seat of our consciousness sits. So it is said that consciousness comes through this point, and it goes through your spine, and then it goes into the belly button, and then you create a being from this consciousness. And when you ring it, just slightly, because you don't want to go deaf. I don't know if you can hear that.
No, hit it harder. Oh, there, you got it now.
Yes. Mm.
Mm, mm.
That feels so good. I'm going to go find mine.
So it's literally like there's so much going on in here. And if you're into chiropractics like myself, I love going to a good chiropractor. And chiropractors have an understanding and a knowing that the bones are always moving and vibrating. Whereas other doctors, like osteopaths, understand, chiropractors understand, everything is moving all the time. And there's your sphenoid bone, your occiput, everything is vibrating, so nothing is ever staying. It's always in a state or in a still state. It's always a state of motion within your body.
So, with that
So
being said, we have to be very mindful of our spoken words.
Yes,
yes.
we do.
Tell us
Yes.
about that, Lloyd. How important is it to keep our spoken words alkaline?
Well, the beauty of it is we all have a mind, but we all have a subconscious mind. And when we say to ourselves, "Oh, that was stupid, that was dumb," we might call ourselves kidding, but to your subconscious mind, it takes it very, very seriously. So this is why when they talk about the spoken word, it is what you speak to yourself that will resonate from the inside out. And so if
Wow.
we are walking around saying, "Man, I'm dumb," or thinking, even just thinking will set that trigger into motion. So it just becomes more frequent because don't forget, sound or words have a sound. These sounds have frequencies. And this is why they're able to make these tuning forks. For example, and they're all based upon the principles of the 3, 6, and 9. So the 3, 9, 3, 6, and 9, that's for healing and motivation. 174, which adds up to 12, relieves pain and tension. Then you got 285 that adds to 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6, and 6 rules health. Believe it or not, that is designed to promote health and physical wellness. Well, the thing about Master Nicki being a sonic alchemist, she has the bowls, the gongs, and the tuning forks to bring out all of these frequencies to relieve all of these things, stress, to bring out the spirit, which is the 963, or the healing, which is 396. All of these frequencies add up to, but the frequency they are playing nowadays is frequent 440. That is the most destructive of the frequencies, and that is the frequency that is going now into our music. That was never it. It was actually 420, which
Right,
is a 6, which is healing. This is 440, which is an 8.
right.
And they'll talk about, so I tell people, don't take my word for it. All you got to do is Google, and they will tell you 440 is the worst of the frequencies. Yet the music that come out these cars and everything we hear nowadays is on 440.
Mm.
So this would explain the antisocial, the kind of violent, the disrespect for our women, all this stuff. Frequencies mean a lot, and these people
So
know it too.
so that means that
Mhm.
our
Mhm.
music producers,
Mhm.
say like Motown and the Philly sound, they were up on the right frequency.
Yes,
And
it's time 420, which is six, which is love.
and it's a literally a
Mhm.
diabolical scientific form of sorcery to degrade the ethnic communities intentionally to cause people to
Yes.
run amok, like the movie Cell with Samuel Jackson, or the movie Kingsman, where they use
Mm.
the cell phone radiation to
Mhm.
have the programming underneath the cell phone transmission to create havoc and chaos. And people
Mhm.
are not even conscious of it. And they ridicule people who wear crystals. But yet again, the screen is liquid crystal display.
Yeah, exactly right. And it's a
So,
Right.
crystal that operates these phones.
yeah,
So if you look at the Motown
Mm.
sound, they would talk about treat her like a lady, my girl. Fast forward to the 21st century, the woman is called everything but the child of God, B's and H's and everything else. And that is not the way we would treat our women. And maybe this would explain some of the whole friction that has probably been more to me by design, that
Mm.
they don't want to be with us, we don't want to be with them, and yet we can't do without each other. That's
yeah,
exactly how God did this.
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed you
What is it
mentioned
about a frequency that
Well, see, frequency send the vibration.
what is it about a freak
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Baraka.
yeah, I think you already knew where I was going. What is it about the frequency that actually can bring healing or disease? Is it what is the vibration or the frequency do to the body?
Well, what happens is, which actually, to me, Nikki can express it best since she's a. See, the frequencies send off an energy or vibrations. Now, you can't see these
Right.
vibrations. It's like when you watch a radio show or TV show, it sends out a frequency. That's why you can watch one station, I can watch another station because they're sending out frequencies. So you can't see them, you can't touch them, you can't taste them, but they exist. And this is why the whole point about sounds and numbers of sound, which is where Master Nikki comes in because she is a master and expert at these things. And what happens is, so you heard the gongs and feel it, but then there are other subtleties that she has. To hear a bowl and it sounds, I mean, it's just, she has these little bells where it says ding. Like, I say, yo, play that again, you know? So you'd have to see it on full display. What she's doing here is not even a tease. It's just a little fraction of what one would be able to experience. But sounds does everything. This is why you hear certain music that'll make you feel good, especially those music back in the day. You know, to make you
Mhm.
feel warm and loving and things of that nature. Now most of the music, and if you notice, that was the kind of music where people would want to touch each other, hug each other, dance close to each other. Now they
Right.
got the music where I'm way over here and you way over there. You know the COVID rules.
Deborah, you was getting ready to make some a comment.
Yeah, I know you mentioned Motown. I was gonna ask about classical music or jazz music. Do you think that's like good for us to listen to as opposed to, the rap or
Well, the original music is jazz. America's
mm,
music is jazz, not country and
mm,
western. That's a late. That's Johnny come lately. The America's original music, when you look at the culture, is jazz, which comes from us. Then with classic is more European. But
mm.
jazz, there's syncopation, there's improvisation. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of things that we just put a whole lot of flavor on everything we do. That's how it goes. So
And a lot of people will say that when you're listening to something, what's good for you is not good for the other. So when you're hearing something and you're experiencing it, if it makes you feel good, it is your perception which creates the reality. And again, it's about your mind first, how you're receiving it. And sometimes people need to experience, and not to say everyone has to, but sometimes, just like me, when I was growing up, I was listening to trash, but somehow I got here. And it was because my reality needed to change. Therefore, things started to present itself so that I could step into the work that I'm doing, meeting people that are doing similar things on the same frequency, literally same vibration, similar walk, but different attributes. So let's just say high vibration, and there's a highway of high vibration, and it's all these different modalities that people are practicing. When you speak to jazz and classical music was before we even had physical recordings, when people had to play and to write sheet music. So there was so much going on in here, having to write it out, having to correct, because I went to school for that when I was very young, when I was growing up in Germany. So classical music was like baseline. You had to learn about Chopin, Schubert, Beethoven, Bach, all these
Mozart.
different things. Yes,
Yep.
Mozart, all these different classically trained pianists and composers. And what I noticed is that it was it would stimulate parts of my creative thinking. And then when you have jazz, if you look at who was making jazz and who was making the blues and things of that nature, and what region they come from, if you listen to the historical recordings from the 60s and 70s of the tribes that were here, you're going to hear the same. It sounds like railroad music. Like when you have the recordings of people who used to work on the railroads, and they used to chant and they used to hum and they used to be in cadence, kind of like they were in church in the field. It's the similar thing. So there was more creative attributes because we had other instruments, woodwinds, brass, and things of that nature that come from the metals, and the metals do other things and they stimulate different things, which is why it became so popular, because of the things that it was making us feel. It was taking us out of the element of depression, and it was stimulating us to do more things and to grow and to develop as people and get out of this funk that we were in down in the South. So music is a perceived notion based on where you are, what it's going to do for your body.
You
So
know,
I oh,
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead.
Nikki, when you were talking about that, that made me think about Sam Cooke. He has, of the many songs, he has working on the Chain Gang, and
Oh
he
yeah.
gets that resonance. I mean, we're just very dynamic people. That's long and short of it. But our
Oh,
music our culture is a great culture, and everybody mimics our culture one way or the other. Yes, there are other cultures. That's not to take anything away from them, but we need to make sure we don't have anything taken away from us. So, for example, if you go to Japan, they know more about our history, about jazz and our jazz artists
Yeah.
and our musicians that can scat better than we can, and it's our music. So
yeah.
everybody seems to get a snippet of that. And I jokingly say sometimes everybody want to be like us until they hear the sirens come. Then they want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know
And
what's really deep? I don't know what kind of tones or what kind of energy we created tonight, but I noticed Miss Bliss Deborah is petting her kitty cat,
She just jumped up here and she
and
won't
mine
leave.
did the same
Still
thing.
here.
Let me show you. I got mine right in my lap. Chloe decides during this particular show she want me to
I think
rub her.
it was the gongs. It was definitely
Yeah,
the gongs.
yeah, yeah.
my
And she
dogs
never,
sleep.
she never does this.
Yeah, my dogs sleep under my gongs if they get the opportunity. They'll come and they'll run under them. And even just sitting in the room, they'll start moving and they start twisting, and then they start, there's a resonance that comes from them just being in this room all together. So there's always a communication.
Yeah, and
You
animals
know
have
what?
a higher sense than human beings anyway.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, you ever heard that they have like a dog whistle where we don't hear anything, but they hear
Yep,
it?
but
So
they
I
do.
think they hear it and they're like coming to the computer or coming up here. Something is resonating with them. Wow, that's amazing.
Well,
They
we,
pick
we
they
live
picking up
in
on the
the
energy
city.
up in here.
I've had cats, right? Two cats. And in both instances, I would come into the building and I live up on the second floor. But when I walk into my apartment, the cat is right there waiting for me. How do they know? I
Yeah.
mean, so animals have so all of us, whether we're human beings or the animals, they all have their frequencies or they all certain gifts. So everything is back to sound and everything
Yes.
on numbers. And this is why, in fact, the universal language is the universal mathematics. Okay, that's what it's referred to, and that is the universal language. This is how they're able to get man. And it's interesting, they talk about sending man into space, but actually the earth is already in space, so we don't have to go into space. We're already in space. We
And it's
just
so
one
interesting how,
problem.
yeah, it's so interesting how they want to explore out there,
Mm.
but there's so much to explore in here.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
Right.
so much.
No doubt.
This is true space. There's more space in our bodies than anything else because in everything there's something within everything, even in our cells. Our cells have so many things going on in there. You have I mean, I'm not I don't remember everything like I used to, but if you look at the picture of what's inside of a cell, there's still space within that cell making space for everything else. And then atoms and beyond that, within the atom, the nucleus of the atom. So if you think about that, our bones really are just like strings and objects that are being in cells being placed together with a whole bunch of holes in it. So there's still a lot of space. So within all of that, if you're allowing disharmonious or unbalanced frequencies to constantly be within your body, then it's going to create dis-ease within your body. So you have to find a balance. In foods that are maybe organic, non-organic, GMO, non-GMO, they have a frequency. They put the numbers on the
yeah,
food to let you
yeah.
know. So it's there. There's the numbers never lie, and they keep telling you, and your body will keep telling you this feels good, this doesn't feel good. And when you're walking like animals, they have their program. So their program is to be an animal. I have two chihuahuas. They're like scavengers. So when I feed my ancestors, they'll go to the closet. They try to sneak something. I'm like, no, don't do it. But they eat, they find a way and they get to it. That's their program. That's what they're meant to do. If a dog was not a dog, then it wouldn't exist, or it would have difficulty being within its framework, which is a dog. So just like us, if we're not within our correct frequency and we're not resonating within our truth, then we're going to have issues that create stress, depression, anxiety, all these different things. And that's why this is my space and I sleep with my gongs, because it's a constant reminder to stay on my purpose, to stay within my mission, to walk within my truth. They're my accountability buddies, and everything that has a frequency, I feel that it's living. So if this can communicate to me just like I can communicate, because this is a frequency, then it's a living entity. Therefore, I have to treat it with respect and kindness and work with it so that I can get the results that I need, because they're all allies. And everything in this room is here to teach me something. So if I'm playing it, I'm going to come to it and with the knowing that I'm going to receive something from it that's going to support me. And even the way that I look, slim, whatever, I attribute that to making sure I'm staying within my mission. I don't have as much sadness or depression or stress or anxiety as I used to, because I know what sounds to sit with. I know what frequencies work with me. I know what octaves work with me, and that is something that everybody should really figure out. And one way to do it is when Lloyd was talking, Master Lloyd, I'm called Master Lloyd. When he talked about the voice, and he was talking about Deborah's voice and my voice, so your voice will let you know what octaves or what if you play a keyboard, you're going to find out what you like. And if you can get to a space where you can hum that within yourself every, when you rise in the morning or rise during the day, you get in the shower 3 minutes, you could hum, you can go through an octave, you can tune your organs, you can tune your water, you can tune your skin, you can tune your soap, just like how Hank works with the magnets. The magnets are tuning because they sit and they resonate, and they're pulling, they're pushing, they're doing things within your body. I'm not a magnet person, but I do know that everything carries a frequency. And
Yeah.
if you have nothing, no tools, no bells, no internet access, outside will give you sound therapy and your voice will give you sound therapy. And you can literally tune yourself to your own frequency based on where your voice is to help support you in getting out of your own way. Your voice is your most powerful tool for yourself. And I do it every day. I'm learning every day and I continue to educate myself. I'm a forever student and I put into practice what I discuss with others because there's not one way for anybody, but sound is for everybody.
And
Yes.
we pulsate throughout the body. That's why you can get a cardiogram. You know they will feel your pulse. If you ever seen, if they want to make sure if a person's still living, what they do, they check the pulse because every aspect of our body sends off a pulse or a frequency. And then they have special machines that you can hear the sounds of these things, although like not to the human ear, like Deborah was saying, like they got these dog whistles. I can't hear squat. I've always tried to hear, but the dog can hear it just as loud and clear and as far away as you can. But the body resonates these things, and especially the heart. The heart is the most. That thing pumps every from the time we get here to the time we get to the other side of life, and it's always sending off a frequency. And so that's why there's the heart rate. And so now they even got watches, smart watches. You can put it on, and then it'll trace and monitor your heart rate, your blood level. All these things, aspects of our bodies are just frequencies. They're transposed into numbers, but they're picked up by sounds that are transposed into numbers. That's why Master Nick is very good at what she does.
Thank
Wow.
You know what
Yes.
you this topic has, we have to spend more time on it because the evil forces are actually taking our children and directing them with sound to the prison industrial complex.
Yep.
Right, right. Master
Because
Nikki. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
no, it's just go ahead, bro. I'm just thinking about, I'm in the zone, man.
No, I'll answer that too because I have two brothers that are gone for a very long time. And when they do come home, I already know like there's brothers out there that with the work that I do, I'm bringing in information. So some people will call them light codes. I just call them codes. When I channel and I go into my meditation, sometimes I start seeing things and there's great support that is needed for our brothers. You know, I don't have any brothers. My brothers are gone because they were defending their life. So, and when we were living in Ohio, there was a clause, there was no self-defense clause. So because there's no self-defense clause, they couldn't defend themselves to keep themselves alive. Therefore, it had to be one or the other. And it wasn't going to be them that day.
Wow.
So they end up going to prison,
Mm,
federal prison.
mm.
And now they're not letting them out. So there's a lot of things that, even hindering our brothers and our sisters from coming home, returning to their families. A lot of these brothers were just misguided. But it's not just it's the system that we live in. And the system is comprised of codes, ordinances, revisions, and laws. It's a whole thing. It
That's right.
codes. And they say codes,
That's right.
and by these codes, these numerical sequences that they have
Mm,
on these charts,
mm.
and you look at them and it's like, man, this is crazy. This doesn't even apply to a human being.
Wow.
So therefore, a lot of women that I'm talking to are getting information about how to bring our brothers home. And when they get home, what to do with them. They need
Yes.
to have lots of healing when they get home because there's things that they experience trying to break the spirit, to break them like an animal so they can
Right.
serve their purpose. Maybe I'm saying too much, but I don't think
No,
it's
you
not. I
flowing,
believe
No,
you
that.
flowing with
and
that.
it ain't correct.
Flowing.
Yeah,
Keep
because
flowing.
I miss my friends, I miss my brothers, and here I'm doing the work that is necessary so
Mm.
that when they do return, if they do get an opportunity to see me, then I can make sure that these codes and these chains that they binded them with energetically monetarily and spiritually can dissipate. And this helps that. And a lot
Mm-mm.
of people are not within that understanding because you're waking up, you're waking up, and then you're in the morning, and then you're getting into this toxic water, looking at your phones, eating this toxic food, putting on toxic music, getting in your car that's like a Faraday cage because it has Bluetooth and different frequencies and programs that they're shooting at you right from when you get up.
Wow.
The frequencies that the car emanates from the alternator and the
Mm,
compressor when you turn on your
mm.
heat and your AC, the seats are producing frequencies to dull how much semen you're producing. Like this is a
Wow.
whole science. This is a whole
Yes.
science. So I keep telling people there are things that are not in a state of awareness right now because we're so tuned into their program and not operating in our own. Therefore, it is killing us. And it doesn't have to. So that's what I wanted to say about that because it's not a just reality right now. And mother is not happy and she's screaming.
Mm,
I
And
was
mm.
and oh, I want to say one more thing because
Mhm.
I got this message the other day.
Go ahead.
If the earth is the mother and her womb, her waters are dirty and her skin, her flesh, or her earth is being poisoned. This is the reflection that men are getting from us because it's not clean. So
Mm,
if she's not clean and she's angry, how is that going to reflect out in society? When mother's not happy, nothing is right. When the woman is right, everything is right. And not to say that men shouldn't be right either, but this is
no.
because we have wombs and because we have this science within our bodies. If it is tainted, we're having excessive bleeding. We're having emotional instability. We're not calling forth energy that could support us on our mission, therefore support our brothers, therefore it's complete support. So the world, the earth, the plane is not in balance. So this is why she's waking up and things are happening. Even the storms that are being produced by different frequencies, because there's that out there too. The cloud production and the ionosphere warming up, and people are worried about the sun scorching the earth, but they're doing that with different frequencies. It's so much stuff out there. It's so
Wow.
much. I'm sorry.
No, no, you're right
It's
on
great.
point.
It's-
Right
Yeah.
on point.
What I noticed is I have cell phone towers directly across the street from me on the rooftop.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And when I take the time to take off my orgone beads and my crystals and I just relax, and this just happened within the last 24 hours, I would notice sometimes these random negative thoughts would just come across my mind stream. And then I would put the beads back on and tranquility would return. So I really know that the present technology, they have undertone, they have sub programs on the cell phone tower transmission, not even talking about the satellite transmissions. And I think they concentrated in certain ethnic neighborhoods for the purpose of the prison industrial
Mm,
complex.
mm, mm.
Mm.
Well,
yes.
that's what 5G is about. Do you know? Well, you and I and Barack and Deborah know here in New York City, they do not allow 5G emanating at least 2 to 3 miles away from these airports because this 5G frequency, again, we're talking about frequency, which is sound. It's
Right,
invisible sound, but it's
right.
sound that can be picked up by the instrumentation and the planes that affect the thing of that nature. So they've now passed it that the 5G cannot be played anywhere within ranges of major airfields. Just can't.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said that, Hank, because the past 2 weeks I've been getting a really negative messages and it whispers to me. And it's not even something that I would ever do, but it's like suicide, suicide. And I'm like, what? And you hear it. and I hear it and I'm like, what is this? And then it's almost as if something just draws away when you have an awareness, and then you know
Mm.
it's
Yeah,
there. Like
yeah.
this is how sinister this stuff is. And I
Yes,
don't
it
live,
is. Yes, it
I
is.
there's a tower like maybe a quarter, half a mile away, and I
Hmm.
live in a housing development. So not only is it the towers, it's in the homes because you have 5G in the house with the router. Then you have 5G um, security systems. And then you have on the side of the house the meters that are running all the
That's right.
time.
That's right.
I mean, I'm telling you, the air conditioning is running rampantly, creating high frequencies that are very dissonant. So there's a lot of things. And living on top of each other. I can only imagine people in 20 stories, and everybody has a 5G box, and then there's a tower outside, and then everybody has their 5G phone, and then they have their cable running all day that has a flicker rate that's literally putting dormant their frontal lobe and subconscious. Therefore, they can't deal with their emotions or stress. Their heart rate's going up. They're getting sick really easy. There's a lot of frequencies are real sinister. It is a very destructive force, and it is a very healing force. You have to pick where you want to be with that by operating within your body and protecting it the best way you know how.
I know that.
What are some of the ways you protect yourself, sister?
Well,
Good
this
question, Crocker.
yeah, this week, I've done some experiments with aluminum. So I was actually um, sleeping encased on my pillow, and above me an aluminum sheet. And then someone said, try something different, because there's people that are actually building tiny homes with aluminum, and then they're putting this black paint behind the or on the walls,
Yeah.
and then they're putting their modems within a metal gun box,
Right.
and then they're just running the cord out so that these frequencies aren't emitting. But there's companies out there that sell EMF protection gear. So this week I'm
Right.
buying a blanket, probably tomorrow or early
Mm.
next week. It's a silver lined blanket, and the guy's been doing tests for years, and he uses a meter to read how much electromagnetic frequency or radiation is being read. So it reads radiation. I don't know the name of it, but he slides it in the cloth or underneath the cloth, and he has underwear and everything, and he puts it inside of it, and there's nothing. So protecting your organs is the most important thing. Now I use sound, and I take liquid kelp every day. So I an iodine supplement every day.
Wow.
I do milk thistle to keep my liver strong. I take wormwood and burdock root every day. Just keeping my system clean so it can function. Because if something does pop up, let's just say there may be a swelling or something that I'm dealing with, then I know that I can go to my PEMF mat, which is a pulse electromagnetic frequency mat, and then I'll look up online the resonance of the earth. The frequency of the earth is what's going to keep us in balance with everything.
That
So
frequency is 532.
yeah, no, yes, between 538 and 540.
Okay.
532 is the optimal, but it's in a scale. So you can use it applying it to music, or you can use it applying it to binaural beats. So, which is still music. So you can listen to specific frequencies, or you can listen to binaural beats, and you want to be in the theta range. And that's what the mat does. It puts you in the beta, theta, alpha, and delta state. So depending on where the earth is, based on the activity that's going on, I'll set my mat to that frequency, to that hertz. So there's many different frequencies, but if you're at A440, if you're at A439, you're better off at A439 than A440. So as far away as you can get from that. Even music producers, you can tune your music. You can look at in your mastering program, because I use Ozone. My mastering engineer uses Ozone and or Pro Tools. So it's in Pro Tools. I'm not registering the names right now. But if you use Ozone, Isotope, it's a plugin, and you can look at the oscilloscope, and it shows you what the frequencies are looking like, and if they're in alignment, what shape they're producing, and also if it's within resonance or if it's scattered around. Like, you don't want something that looks like a destructive cell. You want something that's in harmony, in alignment, um, pulsing like a heartbeat. You're going to be able to see all of that, and you're going to be able to see the finite things as well if you really look at it, and then you start to meditate with that. That's cymatics. So within the music that I do is cymatics. So I'm very intentional about what I listen to, what my children listen to, what we watch. And even if there's something that I want to watch just to be in another state of mind or to just escape all the things that I do know that sit with my mind all day, I know that it's not programming me. I'm watching it with different eyes. So watch what you eat, watch what you consume in all matters, and also wearing metals, things to protect you. Magnets is great. I worked with magnet therapy years ago. It's not the magnets that Hank works. I'm quite sure it's on another level, because I've seen his magnets and I've had it in my hand, and I've seen what Dooley had, and it's just on another level. So I don't even know what that can produce as far as
Right.
positive in the body. But when he showed me a video, and I was looking at the video and I could feel it through the video. So I know it's doing something as positive within the body, like bliss, states of bliss and happiness. And therefore these frequencies don't impact you as hard because your cells are in a higher frequency. So I don't know
Okay.
if I'm saying all of
Yeah,
this
you're
right,
saying
but
you're right on time because
Yeah,
Right on.
facts.
have you ever noticed, family, when people are living in projects, the incidents of um, discombobulated violence because of the square structure, compounded floor by floor. However, there's a remedy. And the reason I say this because when I used to work with the city, I used to do maintenance, air conditioning maintenance in City Hall.
Hmm.
City Hall does not have, in New York City, does not have any square rooms. The basement,
Really?
no. The basement is curved walkways from one room to another, and all the corners are rounded out. And in the mayor's office, the ceiling is 18 feet high, and it had the wooden tapered molding going around the mayor's office.
Hmm.
You know
So
something? I swear it's so amazing when if you go to 60 Center Street in Midtown Manhattan, when you come in there, you come into a rotunda. It's
exactly
round. When
right,
you go upstairs, everything is round. I swear I never thought of it like that before.
because those are the places of power. Places of
Mhm.
power don't have square cubes.
they don't.
So when I was then
That's weird.
assigned to,
The Oval Office.
yeah, they're telling it to you right in your face. And when I was assigned to chief medical examiners on West Side Highway, on the West Side and 30th Street, I proceeded, and listen close, family. For everyone who's living in projects, you can use it as a pyramid amplifier. I placed cardboard triangles in all the machine rooms, and I placed pyramids above the neon lights, above the fluorescent lights. And I staggered on every floor from the machine room. I put the cardboard pyramids with prayers so that the souls that came with the bodies that had recently died, it became a portal of light.
Hmm.
So that if I was living on a 34th floor of an apartment building, I know that the pyramids I place in my corners and in the ceiling would amplify each floor as it goes down. And I got to give a special acknowledgement to Lester Lovin because he brought it to my attention, saying to everyone who's living in an apartment building, unless you triangulate the corners of your rooms, you are a victim of low frequency toxicity. So you can take paper plates and tape them in the corners and notice how energy changes. And what it will do is create a morphic resonance to the other floors. So everyone who lives in projects or apartment buildings, if you put a paper plate tape it to the corner. Don't have any 90-degree corners in your rooms. You'll notice, and if you tell your neighbors, you'll notice there's a whole different energy that's created, because places of power do not have square rooms, but they have them in jails, they
Hmm.
have them in projects
They
for the
got you in the
purpose,
box.
yeah, for the purpose of agitation, so that again they funnel you to the prison industrial complex.
Wow,
It's
chicken box.
amazing. Amazing.
You know, it's funny you say that because I was told that the corners, the way they're built, it can trap energy in the corners. So if it's rounded, the energy flows better. I was also told that the higher the ceilings, the energy flows better. So if you're in a place with short ceilings and corners, then the energy is sort of like, trapped off. So it doesn't flow as well. I guess they compared it sort of to, like, do you see how a TP is? And then it's round. And so they were saying the energy flows better like that.
But
Mm.
Deborah, the buildings that are being constructed in Manhattan now, there are multiple units, but they're smaller. The ceiling is lower.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of the buildings have pyramids. Corporate buildings have pyramids on the top.
Yep.
If you look,
Yep.
corporate, not residential, corporate.
Right. Right.
And they also have a waterfall in the entrance.
Hmm.
Yeah, because water emanates certain energies.
Mm.
Yeah. And in my space in here, I like the comment that you put. She has a shot glass with cinnamon. What is it? Alchemy's heart. You posted a comment from her. Um, yeah, I was given a lot of ways to round off. Yes, with sea salt and cinnamon. I use sea salt, and then I use a penny. I put a penny in the corner or a quarter in the corner, and then I put the salt over the penny, and then it's never like sitting in the corner like this. It's always rounded out. Oh, a piece of Dara.
Hey, Dara.
Hey, Dara. I
And
spoke
see,
to
we talking about round corners, and
Yeah.
Dara pops up.
Yeah.
Can't make this up, Leo. Pre-happy birthday to all the Leos.
All
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
yeah, she got a
Yeah.
birthday coming
So,
up next month.
and if you notice that everything that I work with, what I've noticed recently is that everything is round.
Well, your
Everything that I
goblet's
work with,
around, your bowl's around.
my drums
Yeah.
are round, my
Yeah,
chimes are round,
yeah, yeah.
my
I
master
sit at a round
crystals.
table. When I bought this table here in my home, it's round. It's not square. It's round. It has a whole different feel to it than just in a four square.
Yes.
Mhm.
And my family, I have, my dad started in projects out in Coney Island. It was Marlboro projects. The incidents of violence of people living in projects. My pop started with transit, and then he moved into Flatbush. But my relatives who lived in projects, they were literally, they became um, outlaws,
Mm.
Mhm.
drug addicts, um, diabetics, because of the amplification of the cube. And the people that I know now in my lifetime, in my present stream, the ones that are most disheveled live in projects. But there's a remedy. You can use alchemy of triangulating or putting round corners in your apartment. Instead of having a 90-degree, you'll have a triangulation, and you'll notice the frequency will change in the whole neighborhood. And the higher up you are, the more distance you can create. And
Hmm.
projects in the Bronx, East New York, Bushwick, Brownsville, you can change from being in a cube designed for you to self annihilate.
Hmm.
Um, you can change the frequency by triangulating the corners, and you will notice a whole different portal of energy is generated from your plants, your children, and beyond into your neighborhood. But the design of the square building, even doing ayahuasca or doing psychedelics in a round room or outside
Mhm.
or in a
Oh,
teepee
yeah.
is a whole different experience. Go ahead and
Yeah.
touch on that.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just really like, yeah. Well, when so I've had some experiences outside with psilocybin mushrooms, and man, oh man, what a difference, during the day versus at night in your own space. Just the connectedness to just everything. But what I noticed is that I really appreciated Wachuma outside.
Yeah.
Totally
Oh,
different experience. The antenna
Yeah.
of the gods. It's just a totally different experience. But always when doing any psychedelics outside, it's just you really feel a oneness and a connectedness. And the last time I did it, I was going where I'm going this weekend. I'm going to the mountains in North Carolina, and to go and pay my respects to the ancestors, get a couple crystals, do some work. And when I microdose, the dose kind of like doubles itself because of the territory I'm going in, because it's clear.
Mm,
There's no cell signal. The
mm,
water is clean. It's filtering through the rocks. You can step in
mm,
it. It's ice cold. You got deer and snakes and all kinds of stuff. And then you're there, and then there's nothing but you in nature. And then the trees start talking, and then the birds, you have an awareness
Mm-hmm.
like nothing, and there's really no fear because you know that you're being communicated with in a very different way. So you
mm,
get to exist within nature as one and have communications and a knowing, knowledge, information. You get to see where Earth is standing and what the animals are doing. And when you see how nature works and you know where we are, and to be connected to that is the most beautiful. It was the most beautiful experience I ever had.
thank you for sharing that. And I want to share another remedy for all the urban dwellers, whether you're in apartment buildings or projects. You can work with plants. You can work with snake plants, spider plants. And what you do is you put your saliva and mix it into the water of the plant and ask the plant to assist you in your healing and coming into the nature, back into the natural rhythm. Just by your saliva. And sisters, you can use your moon essence instead of flushing it down the toilet or throwing it into the trash can of a square cubicle, because if you look at the trash disposal, that's square, so
Where?
all
Yeah.
that negative energy
Yeah.
is going into your tampon or wherever you place it, and that is still transmitted to you, so you act toxic, you talk toxic, and you be toxic. What you do is you take your moon essence and plant it in the soil of your house plants, so
Yes.
that you house plants have a network of the plant kingdom, so you will literally transmute the energy of your home through the plant network instead of the internet,
mm.
with your saliva mixed into the water, and put your intentions into your giving your offering to the plants. Just
Yeah.
want to share that, and I want to give thanks to a sister who touched on this, was touching sharing it with me recently, Diana Farr. She was
I haven't
actually
heard
said
from Dinah. How's she doing?
magical,
I need to get her
magical.
number. I haven't spoke to her in a couple of years.
Yeah,
Okay, she's a Virgo too. Alrighty,
yes, she
good.
is.
I'll be in touch with her. Hey, I got
And
issues. I
she's a
remember.
Virgo. She's September 11th,
Yes, she is. September
and
the
she
11th.
has
That's
such
exactly
a.
right.
She is literally so feminine that listening to her voice puts you in a soothing trance.
She's always spoken a very soft, soothing tone.
Mm.
Always. That's always been her energy.
Yeah, and she's Virgo, Nicki
Mm.
Monty.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
another thing too is if you have a friend that's an herbalist or works very deep in the herbal, in the herbal medicinal world, they will also suggest to people that are growing their own, depending on where they are in their life and with, their cycle, to utilize it in their herbal garden if they're using it for themselves, because then it empowers the herbs and gives them nitrogen, but also gives them your magic. So it works for you as well in tandem with that.
And for women who, what I notice, family, in Diana's apartment, it's almost like everywhere there's plants. There's plants. I mean, on the terrace, in the living room, and the presence of the plants is so strong. It's like it reinforces her feminine energy. So instead of sisters being in fake masculine, plant kingdom will help you come into perhaps connecting with your blood and feeding it to the plants. They're going to grow like crazy, but
Yeah.
connecting with the plant kingdom will put you in a whole different spectrum, a whole different reality. You know, we touched on that on your show, Lloyd, where I
Yeah, yeah,
triangulated my
yeah.
apartments. But we have to use
I have
natural
triangles in all of my
mysticism.
corners in my apartment.
Yeah,
Thanks, Lester Loving.
yeah. We have to use natural forms of mysticism because if we don't apply our natural mystic techniques, we will become droids that the powers that be want you to become nothing more than a battery slave. And then when your voltage is up, they dispose of you.
That's right.
Yeah. They treat us like non-player characters. Like we're just here to work for them or to help them on their mission when we have to be playing our own game or doing our own thing. And I
We're
was
not,
just talking to my daughter about that last night.
yeah, we're not supposed to be having a job after the age of 40.
No.
Hmm.
And when Mayor Lindsay used to be the mayor of New York City, even though he was a Republican, he um, instituted tier one with the city workers so that if you started at the age of 18, you retired at 38 or 40. And later, they had politicians that didn't give a damn about the city workers, and they had tier three, tier four, and the retirement age went higher and higher.
That's right.
But you're not supposed to. If you're following the Christian path, you're not supposed to be working after 40.
Mm.
My father retired at 40 as a transit motorman.
And they used to say
Wow.
biblically, life begins at 40.
Yes,
Noah was in the ark 40 days, 40 nights. Moses was at the mountain getting the commandments 40 days, 40 nights.
yeah.
You know?
40
So,
acres and a mule.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That number 40. You're supposed to be done with. For me, I was 10 years late. All right. I finished up at 50. I got coworkers that's still on the gig, but they're going to retire. They're going to be like crazy, packed, stacked with the money, but their bodies are going out. The knee joints is going out. So it's a
Right.
sacrifice if you stay on a somebody else's plantation past 40. There's a detriment to your physical health, and
Mm.
sometimes people don't know what to do with themselves because they've committed themselves to working for someone else because that's how they were conditioned from childhood.
Hmm.
That's right. That's
Hmm.
right. That's right.
You remember the watermelon stands, lemonade stands,
Mm-hmm.
you know, packing groceries. That's what I appreciate about my Caribbean brothers. They know how to. They've been taught on them islands. You better know carpentry, electrical, plumbing, because if that hurricane hits and nothing's left, you got to build your house from the ground up.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's what we have to become again, craftsmen. And Nicki Monty, Master Nicki, she's a sound craftsman. Master Lloyd is a number master, so you can get direction because you need numbers for direction in your life. Okay, if you're on a boat and you're looking at the compass and you're saying which way is north, 10 degrees north, here comes the numbers. 5 degrees north by northeast. You gotta know where's your directions.
And on the other side of it, imagine living in a world without sound. To hear the birds, music in the air, the forest, the rain, people's voices, laughter, this, that, and the other. Imagine if the volume was turned off on everything in life. We would see each other, but there would be no depth or substance or feelings to bring everything in context. And this is where Master Nicki comes in as a sound alchemist.
If there was
Ashe.
no sound, we probably wouldn't exist.
Mm.
Because what maybe another sense would be more heightened or elevated, because my grandmother was deaf. She went deaf at the age of 4.
Hmm.
She
Mm.
grew up in Puerto Rico, and she had to go to school, a Catholic school for the deaf. And what I noticed is that even though she was deaf, she could still hear, but
Mm-hmm.
you had to have a vibration so strong, like a loud voice, to get her attention, and you had to be really close to her. But what I notice is that when something's been stimulating me to learn about sign language, because it's almost like doing consistent mudras all day long.
Mm.
So she was always stimulating something within herself. And when she transitioned, I wasn't in contact with her. But she was so strong spiritually that she came to me in a dream, and she stroked my face and she let me know that she was gone. So she was always, connected. So I guess she had that sixth sense because she couldn't hear. So she had to be able to navigate and understand energy and people in a different way. But if there was nothing there for us, then what would stimulate us? What would be present
Mm.
for
Thank you
us?
for sharing that.
It's yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say something else. Um, as far as I'm noticing a mega trend, when they did the shutdown, people were working remotely, and people don't want to go back to the office no more.
Right.
And they're trying to push it, but it's obsolete now.
Mm-hmm.
And until people really hold fast to that position, that's the new way of creating and innovating by remote working. It's not necessary for somebody to be sitting up in a cubicle,
Right.
because you have all the technology that you can do the job while you're up in the mountains,
That's right.
because you have all the telemetry, all the electronics, or it's not necessary to be there physically.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pleasantly happy for everyone who is still working a gig to be able to do it remotely,
Yeah.
because sometimes, I call friends and they're like, yeah, I'm at work, but I'm not at work. And that's a beautiful thing.
And you have to understand, people would, in some cases, especially with women, they'd have to get up about 90 minutes to 2 hours just to prepare to leave for work. Then you spend time going to work. Then
Right.
after you get off work, you got to spend the same amount of time coming back. I mean, so when this whole, so everything, even although it appears a challenge, there's always a silver lining, and that's what COVID did. That people could survive work without going to work.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, definitely. This has been a magical show.
I got a,
And
a
thank you
quick
so
question
much.
before we wrap up, y'all.
Yes.
Hold on,
So,
hold on. Let me show your face, because you look like you had a fire. You're sitting fireside, man. Look at this. Go ahead, brother.
He's enjoying himself.
Yeah,
the
he don't
sun
look
is
like
Where
he's
are
going.
in
you,
Brooklyn.
Baraka?
I'm in my backyard. The sun is going down.
Yeah, but it looks beautiful, and I mean, it looks so natural.
Yeah, yeah. So, Master Nicki. So, real quick, I got two questions for you. Um, so I saw you got all them gongs back there. You got the bowls. I know you got bells. When you dealing with a client, how do you know which gong or bell or bowl to work with? And the second question, real quick, is also I noticed you turned on. It looked like a blue light. What was that all about?
Oh, that my light went out because my stool pulled the plug out. So the blue light is actually a light that I like to use when I'm discussing or when people come over. This is the light that I use when we're having tea, and I get them in that relaxed state, because blue is a
Mm-hmm.
very calming color. It's
Mm-hmm.
reminiscent of the waters, and this is a very pleasant color, so I like it. It looks good.
It does.
But usually it looks purple.
Mm.
So it's kind of strange how it's coming off so blue right now. And so that's that. It's just a very calming, relaxed. I have other lights on in here as well, but you just can't see them because they shine off of the instruments very beautifully and creates this very serene feel. So color therapy.
Awesome.
And then
Which is numbers too.
yes. And then also, as far as the instruments and what I use, there's a protocol that I brought forth through going through ceremony with myself, and I was really excited because I was like, oh shit, this is how I do it now. So there is a protocol to start. There's always, because when people first get to me, they're on the table. Table has 4-inch cushioning, again, Egyptian cotton sheets, nice pillows, chemical free, cottons. I suggest that they wear light, comfortable clothes, preferably wearing white or light colors. And then they come in, and the gongs are situated around the table. There's bowls on the floor. I always try to open up with tuning forks because they just get directly into the nervous system. I prefer to work on the back because that is the essence of ourselves, and that's where a lot of our energy sits. When people think of energy centers or chakras, they usually think they're here on the front.
It's the
But
spine.
I try to tell people all the time, avoid this. Do this for yourself. Hold yourself, and because we can't touch our back, but when someone is working with you, or let's just say, even if you receive a hug from the back as a woman, how does that feel when someone's at your back and you feel their heartbeat on your back? And you can feel that energy start to flow and circulate between you guys. It's a very different capacity for healing when you work on your back. So usually I have them flip over. I'll just do the front, and then I let spirit guide. Sometimes people need bowls, and also there's contraindications. If you have metal in your body, or if you have any sore spots, or maybe you have maybe a tumor or something, I'm not going to place the bowl right there. I may work around it to test with the tuning fork for sensitivities, but usually it's spirit led. But it's always tuning forks, energetic, light touch or energetic healing, going through the different levels of the auric field, energy field, always guided. I'm a vessel. So if they say start with the gongs, I'm starting with the gongs. They say start with the bowls and put them on the body. That's what I do. If we're going through vocal toning and breathwork exercises, and then I'm playing the gong for them, having explosive releases, they're having releases, and I'm burping, or all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff can happen, but there's a specific protocol when people first get to me, and it's always on the table. After that, it's no holds bar. Second ceremony, second session, we're going in. You're sitting in front of the gongs. You may be sitting like this, just sitting there like this, on maybe some medicine or not medicine, and you may just sit there hugged up in a blanket, and then you may stretch out. I mean, there's so much that can happen, so many possibilities. It's always spirit led. After the first go round, to awaken what lies dormant first, and then we work from that aspect of recalibrating and getting you back to your understanding of self. It's all about getting back to yourself, because we're always operating in someone else's program, especially in this country.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
getting back to the self. So whatever it takes. If it's 5 gongs and you're sitting in the middle of those 5 gongs and it's 3 hours long, we're going to do it. I'm here for it. We're going to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hot. I like that.
Yeah.
I want to share something that came to me from this conversation. I never thought of this until now, and it makes perfect sense. If you want to change the frequency of the corners of your room, and I'm also giving acknowledgement to Lester Lovin, take a quartz pebble and hot glue it to the corner.
Mm.
Hot glue a
Yeah.
crystal. You don't have to use a point. You can use a point if you'd like, or a small
Mhm.
cluster, but use hot glue and glue it right into the corner of the
Mhm.
room.
Mhm.
And the music you play, it will vibrate according to the music or what you speak and think. It will be amplified for your highest good. So you can use a pebble, family, if you're in projects or if you're in apartment buildings, get some hot glue, get some hot glue sticks, and hot glue a crystal into each corner and watch the miracles happen.
Mm.
I
That came
agree.
from the show.
I agree. Someone was saying something in the comments about selenite. That's another thing I have in my corner too. I have selenites in my closet and in my space, all around downstairs, along with salt and pennies too.
Because
Selenite's a master stone for me.
it's the money. Corners is where the money comes from.
Yes.
Because energy, if you want to make some money, get rid of all the corners, and money will flow just like energy flows, because money just represents the flow of energy. So put hot glue, a crystal of your liking, in every corner, the hallways, the bathroom, the kitchen. Just put a hot glue, but be careful with that hot glue. It will burn you. From experience, I'm telling you from experience, because ain't nothing stick to you more than hot glue, and you will scream like a baby, but it works.
So Baraka, I had a question for you as well. You is that the shofar that you're playing in the beginning?
Yes, that's one of the names. Yes, the shofar comes more from the Hebrew tradition,
Yeah.
and also, you know what? Actually, technically not, because the shofar is technically supposed to be a ram's horn,
Yes.
but the one I use is buffalo, so it's in the same tradition, but it's technically not a shofar.
I like
I
buffalo.
use I use the word from the Akan, West Africa. They call it the Akoben.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, buffalo's a is great medicine. I have a buffalo drum, a buffalo high drum. But I was asking because I don't know if in another video I saw you using the conch shell. Have you ever used a conch shell?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have one. I do. Yes.
Yeah, I've been studying that. I was called to get one. So
Mm.
that's my
I
next
need
step.
you to break down for me what's the vibration and the frequency from the buffalo versus the ram versus the conch and etc. Like I want to get my hands on a rhino, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, yeah, rhino is very special. There's somebody that I know in South Africa that actually has a historic piece of rhino horn, and they utilize that as an instrument. So, but that's because it's tribal. So these are things that have been passed down over centuries or generations. But as far as buffalo medicine, from what I've been explained to by the Aboriginal here, it's a very emotionally healing, very forceful, quick healer. And then also the horse rattle. I have a horse rattle made from horse, sustainably, all sustainable. So nobody was murdering animals just to make some skin drums or skin rattles. But even though the horse is not native to here, the Aboriginal here have such a great respect for the animal, and they take care of the animal, and they work very closely with the animal historically. So the horse is to awaken things and to get you expediently, on your journey, and to remove things very quickly that's within your auric field. So any negative entities or energies or something like that, and to get you back to center. The buffalo, all aspects of the buffalo are good for emotional healing. I utilize the drum for my womb work specifically because it's very helpful to have that type of depth of bass and pressure down there, removing things and to assist with my healing process. So again, it's experiential. Some people may like the deer, the elk, double sided. It's all that, but as far as the ram horn, not sure about the ram medicine, but I know that is something that is traditional, that is used in Hebrew tradition. I keep seeing it online everywhere. I'm
It
like, what's that?
probably goes back to like an ancient time, like the age of Aries or something like that.
That's
That's
what I
what.
was thinking.
Yeah, but I'm sure it has its own vibration as well.
Yeah.
Well, I want to share something that I've seen in person. There was a brother who used to come through for the ayahuasca ceremonies named Jazz, and what he did, he purchased a monk's either thigh bone or shin bone, and it
Oh,
was like a fruit. But when he would blow it, I told him, "Don't blow that thing in my house." But the spirit of the monk would come when he blew into this horn. I mean, this bone. It was like a leg bone. And so he would do this in Prospect Park, and he would do it also in Park Slope. But he would literally blow a human bone, and it would bring the soul of the monk to him. So we have ancient traditions where we would keep the skulls of our ancestors in the home because bone has a form of quartz, is a form of quartz. Just want to share that.
Yeah, and quartz is a record keeper. But yeah. And there's aspects of necromancy that are used in many different traditions. Like they'll use the knee bone in Cuba to solve problems and to put the knee on the necks of problems. So and
Wow.
other things. So yeah, it's real deep. The
Oh
traditions are
yeah.
very deep
Oh yeah.
with the bones and the skulls and things like that. It's very beautiful, you
And it,
know.
mm-hmm.
And knowing these traditions and knowing how to operate them is always it's always been a pleasure to work with them in alignment with purpose. You know, a lot of people will utilize these traditions to gain access and power to things that really don't even serve the collective. So
Mm.
I'll learning these things and being in the space that I'm in now, um, to be where I am right now and to be centered and to be able to utilize these different traditions to work in complete harmony with where I am right now to support myself, therefore supporting others. Um, just I just want to say people need to really have an awareness of just doing things for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons. Because what we really know to be right is right for us, but to chase after things and to try to change the trajectory of things to serve ourselves selfishly does not matter anymore. It's really about the collective. It's really about your partners, your brothers and
Networking.
sisters.
Yep.
Yeah, on that frequency, building a village with like minded consciousness so that we can evolve to this next stage of whatever we're walking into. And we know what we're walking into. So that's why these conversations are so important.
Yeah, because what's more important now than ever is networking. We got to network with each other. You know,
Yep.
like I appreciate Lloyd, I appreciate Deborah, I appreciate Baraka, I appreciate you, Nicki, Monty, because that's all we have left is our
Yep.
network.
Yep. And we need to help and promote each other. Actually, we don't have a choice.
You
We
got that
really.
right.
And somebody in the comment section want to know how can they get in touch with Nikki Monty, Master Nikki.
Oh, I got banners. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh, you
I
didn't
got
put
all
the
caught up in
banners
this.
up.
Oh shoot!
Oh my
Hold on,
God.
Deborah. You should have reminded me.
I should.
2 hours ago, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I had all this information
Yeah,
here.
but somebody says, how do you get in touch with Nikki Monty or
I'm
Master
glad you
Nikki?
brought it to my attention because I was
Yeah.
spacing out, man.
Yeah, and another thing too that I wanted to say is I'll be in Detroit from August 19th through the 21st. I'll be at the Detroit Psychedelic Conference. The website is the Detroit Psychedelic Society.com. And it's not just me that's going to be there. There's going to be people from all over the country, some people from out of the country that are well versed in healing as far as tantra, any type of psychedelic work for healing, growth, and exploration, um, and an understanding of all these different medicines that are plant, animal, and sound that could support us on our journeys.
And can you
It's a
repeat that again? That society, what is it again?
Yes, the Detroit Psychedelic Society.com.
Thank you.
And it is in tandem with the Tamarian Institute that was part of the lineage of Master Baba Kalindi Iyi. And he was a psychonaut and he did a lot of good work and educated a lot of people about psilocybin or mushrooms while he was here in the flesh. So a lot of his students will be present, teaching and informing people on what is possible with the work that can be done with all different kinds of medicines. Also, if you go to my website, myspiritology.com, which is running across the banner at the bottom, you will notice that when you go to the website, you'll see everything. But today, before I got on here this evening, I worked very diligently so that I could present here and be the first. This be the first place to announce that I just released a 22-minute and 22-second meditation
And
that
I got
is
the
now
intro.
on my website,
Yep. Yep.
and it is called Bufo. So this is Bufo is Bufa alvarius. It is a toad medicine that I had the fortunate opportunity of partaking in May. And I recalled a musical experience that I was having while I was within the medicine. So please go check that out, myspiritology.com. You can listen to it for 30 seconds and get a taste. The offering for it is $8. It is yours to keep forever. And there are specific instructions because this is a very intense track. It is for meditation and evolution. Use it for yourself a few times if you're a healer so that you can know how to work with it with your clients. If you're doing this just for yourself, work with it on a daily basis for at least 7 days. Breath work, meditation, tantra, yoga, qigong, vocal toning, hape, anything that you want to utilize it with, it's going to take you very, very far. Me just listening to it, it puts me, it's like a punch in the chest, and I go back into a recall, and it starts to talk to my cells and helps me remember my healing experiences and to go back into that state so that I can, it's almost like looping back into the highest state of being in awareness that I was in when I took the medicine. So hopefully it supports everyone. Just go take a listen. If you like it, please support, and I give thanks.
Master Nicki, could you get together the people who are putting together the psychedelic Detroit psychedelic conference so we can do a promotional?
Oh, I would love to. Yes.
Yeah.
Dooley will be there.
Yeah.
Dooley,
So-
Sincere. Yeah, a lot of people will be there.
Are you going to do a gong presentation there, or are you going to be a speaker so people will know what to expect?
So I'm going to be a speaker there, but for 2 days on the 20th and the 21st, excuse me, on the 20th and the 21st, I will be in the evening between 7 and 9 p.m. I'm locking in a location this weekend. I have the flyer on my page, but I didn't want to present it here because there's no location listed. And the price is on there as well. So if you go to my Instagram, it's at myspiritology. You'll see the flyer, and I'll be working with Priestess Onika Long of Merkaba House. She owns 11 gongs. So she is a sister in sound, and she is a wonderful mother, priestess of Oshun, very mystical, esoteric, from the Midwest, has 6 children. She's doing wonderful work in the community and with all of us. So we'll both be there, and we'll be both serving the community there, doing sound healing. So I have 2 nights of that. And then one of those days I will be speaking at the conference. So there's more details still unraveling because there's so many speakers and things like that. But please check out the website, the Detroit Psychedelic Society.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me on my website, and I'll be more than happy to direct you right to where you need to be if you're looking for more information.
Yeah, let's do a promo. What do you think of that idea, Deborah?
Absolutely. Barack, are you there?
I'm looking. I think he left his back. There he is.
I'm right there. I ain't going nowhere.
What you doing, man? Doing peace? You doing peace offerings to the sky?
And
Yeah,
Deborah,
let's do a
before
promo
I
show.
sign off, I want to thank Deborah for putting together a very awesome promo. The music, I got so many responses when I posted that, and I must have heard it countless times. I'm serious. I like the rhythm. I love music. And in fact, when people listen to my show Live with Lloyd every Monday and Wednesday, the theme music is by this sister right there, Master Nicki Monty.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm gonna play it again because it does sound good. Before we
Play it
close
one more
out,
time before we sign
let's
off.
play it again.
Yeah, one more time. Deborah, that's bad, girl.
That rocks.
Yes.
And there were
Thank
so
you.
many things going on musically within that. I mean, I could hear one, you know what I'm saying? It's like, wow.
And there's a 6 and an 8 there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
got
think
that, right?
in
Yeah.
fact, I played that number, 648.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to put a 0 in front of it.
You got
And if
that
it
from the
comes
number
out
man.
and do 5,000, I'm going to share it with everybody. But that's nice. That was nice. That was very, very nice. God bless
When a
you.
number man give you a number, you take it.
No question. No question.
Lloyd, you can't leave without giving us some lotto numbers or lotto instructions. Come on now. My family's
Well,
like,
there's
they
certain
got it ready.
hours to play. And tomorrow is Saturday. So that
Mhm.
means one of the best times to play tomorrow would be at 12 o'clock and 7 o'clock tomorrow.
Okay.
Because those would be the
Whoa.
Jupiter hours.
Okay.
So 12 to 1 and 7 to 8.
Okay.
Like
I'm
I played
When I
playing.
hit it,
I'm
I'm gonna throw a big
playing.
party for everybody.
I'm playing. Like, yeah.
I saw that number 6, 4, and 8 dance up at the top. I says, okay. Good enough. Okay. You ain't got to tell me twice.
All
That
right,
beat is
y'all. Let's
still ringing in
claim
my
it.
head,
$1
man.
billion. Let's claim it. $1
Yes.
billion. Let's
$1 billion
get
for somebody.
Billion.
Let me tell you, $1 billion divided 5 ways, we got more than enough room to spare. Trust me.
That's plenty of peanut butter.
Yes, a lot.
Word up.
Yeah.
Okay, man, this is so much fun. I'm sitting here now. I'm all relaxed, you know.
Well, Hank, I
I
can't
just
thank
want to
you
make
enough
sure I got
for
all the
having me
information.
me on.
And family, I
you.
want you to be generous to the donations of Master Lloyd and Master Nicki. Feel free to give them your accolades in the form of Dead Prez and all the connections that's in what I just posted. I know it doesn't look symmetrically perfect, but bear with me. I be high from Wachuma. I'm in the sky, but I'm still on the ground. So give them your support because the geniuses are in our community, and if we don't look out for each other, who is going to look out for us? We got to look out for each other.
And I want to thank you, Hank, for being a guest on my show 2 days ago on Wednesday. In fact, I replayed the interview. I said, for those that missed the amazing interview with Hank Rising Sun, I sent the link so people could see. I mean, every time you're on, that's why I don't tell you what to do on the show because you don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you're going to do. And that's what makes it so nice. And it was really a great, especially that Leaky Lay Stone. Especially that
Oh yeah,
one.
I got one for Deborah.
Oh yeah. I was watching yesterday. I mean on Wednesday. I said, man, I looked it up right
I already
away.
ordered the stone. I ordered the stone.
I
I
said,
don't play. You ain't got to tell me
wow.
twice.
I watched the video. I said, there's no way.
Let me show you. I upgraded
You
mine.
watch the
and it-
YouTubes also. The YouTubes on that stone, amazing. The documentary.
Yeah, I was like, it moves like that.
Yes,
It,
from the ceiling.
Yeah, like out the mountain, like a snake. And
my
see, I
daughter
said-
was
I
like,
said-
that's not real. She kept saying, that's not real.
I
Looks
said
like
the
that. I
same
was
thing.
like, no.
Same thing.
Who's going to fit back there like that?
They would cut it, and then it's a piece of rock. I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
It's a stone from Thailand, family. It's called Leki, Leklai. It has a spirit. The
Well, I
Thailand
ordered
monks
mine
go
too.
into
Yep.
they go into
Yeah.
the cave and they chant sacred songs, and the stone
But you
comes
start
down
moving
like
out
a
the
gyrating
ceiling.
snake.
Yeah, so, I'm saying, like, okay, what's that about? You know what I'm saying? But very interesting.
I can't wait to see what happens when you get this Nicki and you play the gongs around it. It's probably gonna be like,
This is Leke.
Ooh, you're right, Deborah. When she plays that around that leaky zone. Yeah. Yeah, you got 4 of them, right, Hank?
I got 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I like
5,
that
6.
bead too in the middle. What is that a Tibetan bead?
That's the Leke, and you can get
No,
on
and-
Amazon.
Right there in the
Like-
middle.
Yeah, the one in the middle. That's the Leke from Amazon, from the monk. who chants and brings it down, comes snaking down from the ceiling. But what I did, I added the acacia beads in between them,
Okay.
and that's what it looks like.
Wow.
But when I get mine, Hank, I gotta come and see you so you can work on my neck piece.
Listen, this
Yo.
is why we need protective remedies, because
Yeah.
folks is acting a fool out here.
Yo, Hank, did you say that Thai bead is called eleke?
Leki, Leklai.
But don't that sound just like eleke?
Leke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
And it says
So
it
what-
has a spirit, and if you act right, it will protect you day and night.
Now
And
that's what I like. If your spirit is right, you will be protected. But if you
You
go
will be
get that
protected.
stone because you want to keep from getting shot trying to rob a bank, it's not going to work.
no, the
Yeah.
spirit will leave the stone. But
Yes.
Yeah.
this is highly protective. They consider it supernatural out of Thailand. And you'll see demonstrations with gun, flame, like you hold a stone and then you put a big lighter underneath your wrist.
Yeah, and the person was holding the lighter, and I mean, the arm wasn't burnt. I mean, like, that's all I could say when I watched the YouTube videos on that stone. It was just amazing.
Yeah. And again, they were chanting and playing instruments.
Yes.
Sound.
See, and
Like
that's right.
it's
And they came out and they came down from the mountain. I mean,
yeah, I was
the-
like, what is this?
hey, yeah, and it was wiggling. I said at first maybe it's my imagination, but then they would do it again. It's almost like I can't describe it. It looked like a snake, and I don't know, like a rubber hose or something. And then he
That's
would do a
stone.
sound and catch it in the gold bowl he was holding, and then but when he would put it in the lady's hand, it wouldn't be all wiggly. It'd be a piece of stone.
There's a
Now,
there's a video clip. I'm gonna see if I can post this, because I had one that came in the mail, and I was with the beautiful sister named Shanique, and when she put it in her hand, her pain in her arm went away instantly.
Yeah, and these are the type of protective amulets that are needed right now, like
yes,
spiritually fortified amulets. Like there's so much stuff that's coming out now because it's so needed. And man, I mean, I'm wearing jade. Jade is a celestial stone. And it's a very connective piece to spiritual evolution and enlightenment and peace. But it's like the more we keep walking through these different layers of consciousness and elevating, it's like the more shit that's attracted to the light. Therefore, you really have to protect yourself and put yourself in a bubble, chanting, saying your prayers, doing your work before you even leave the house.
yeah.
And having your body to be your altar.
Yeah, I got one for you too, Baraka.
Stuff. Just
because what happened was
My
certain
man.
vendors on eBay and Amazon. What happened? I don't know if it's a vending tradition. They give you more than what you ordered. So I ordered one bead off of Amazon, and they sent me a smaller extra one. And when I ordered on eBay from Thailand, they sent me a bunch of stones, and I gave them good reviews because it was incredible, the generosity. And I'm gonna see if I can post this video or the picture. Yeah.
Now, I'm not familiar with the energy of the stone, but I know the more positive energy or life force energy that's around, the better off all of us will be. So
Yeah,
to
no
share that
question.
around the world is a privilege and an honor. You're wearing that. You're one of probably few that's in New York City that has one.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes a big difference right there.
That's right.
I'm going to post this video up here. Give me a second. And it takes, if you don't have a pistol, you better have a crystal to another level. There it is. This is where I'm activating it. And it's highly telepathic. It's highly telepathic. The stone. And they give descriptions on eBay as far as the legacy. and you feed it. Now tell me, Master Nicki, you feed it once a month under the full moon.
Honey, you feed it honey,
Yes.
and it says it will eat the honey. It will dissolve the honey. I
Wow.
can't wait to try when I get mine.
It dissolves the honey and consumes it.
Yes, consumes the honey every full moon.
Wow.
Honey for money.
Oh, and it also brings wealth and health too. Not just
Yeah.
protection, but health and wealth.
Sounds like a Yiming Zoo.
Hey,
Yes.
It's similar, but it's got
Similar,
a
but
whole
not the
nother,
same. Yeah.
it's got a different energy. I'm gonna
is
show
that the
y'all.
video you sent me? Did I hear that lightning,
Yeah, that's why
electricity?
I family, I asked mentally or telepathically, I asked the stone, would you like some Tesla? And it said, yeah. So I was like, okay. And I
And
had
you
given,
see electrical charges going through the stone.
yeah, and the stone liked it. Here it is, right here. Oh, wait a second.
That's funny. You're funny, Hank.
Yeah, listen, we better be funny out here with this craziness.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's see, where is it? Oh, here it is, right here. But the three things, Baraka, bulletproof, knife proof, flame proof.
Yep.
Now, that's not a bad combination for
Under these
single ladies
circumstances,
under these circumstances.
yeah, not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. All you need now is something hoodoo proof.
It does that too. It removes evil. It backs up any evil, whatever. I mean, I've spent all day going through videos and researching. That's when I ordered the stone.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Nicki, Tesla activating.
You can't tell me that ain't working, Hank, knowing you.
Oh, it's fun. And this is the one you can get off Amazon. What I'm doing right now is scrubbing the video to make it friendly for YouTube.
Well, when I get mine, I'm gonna bring mine over so you can zap it too. All right, Hank?
Yeah, sounds
Good.
like a plan. Uh, where is it? Right here. This is video. Is this video? No, that's not it. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Yeah, here it is. Look, this is one you can get off Amazon, and I was surprised at the energy, and it was beautiful. So I'm just going to convert because it's a short video clip, but it really makes a difference.
That was under the title Leaky Stone on the Amazon.com.
Yeah, Leklai, and a
Mm-hmm.
special acknowledgement to Brother Yosef because he did a video.
I reached out to him. I haven't heard from him yet.
Yeah, he just
I wanted to be a guest on the show to talk about it.
he just moved into Houston, so I'm sure he's like crazy busy. But I'm gonna bring it up just now. Here it is, and this is where different pieces of the stone. Here it is, right here. Okay. I'm bringing it up. This is my Leke bead that just came in today. Muscle testing. It has a lot of energy. Strange energy. Unique energy. This is a living species of a unique metal crystal. I don't know what to call it. From Thailand. It's very protective, very powerful, and very alive.
Yo, that bead look like it's from another world.
I got
Yeah.
one more video to show y'all. One more. Let me just move this screen. And this one I got from, I think it was Etsy. So you get them on eBay, Etsy. You can shop around, but they come in different shapes and colors. But the energy, and I shared one with a good brother, giving him a shout out, brother Marvin. He's a Jedi that travels the world, and he brought me back some goodies in his world travels. And I said, I got something for you too, bro. Be right back. Watch my bike.
That's the one I spoke with yesterday, Marvin, right?
Yeah. Here it is right here. Let me just convert this. And this is, I had just taken it out of the mail. And I ran into my good sister friend. And she was shocked at the effect. And Marvin could feel, he said was feeling electrical zaps when he put it in his hand or put it on his chest. Okay, here we go. This is one more. Bear with me, family. I got one more video to share with you because the only thing we have left, as Ifakunle said, is our magic and our science. We're trying to get some guns, but that's another subject.
Yeah.
They're gonna make you jump through hoops to get that.
Stay quiet over here.
Here it is, right here. Is that it? Yeah, this is it. Okay. Here we go. We got a bunch of folks making comments in the chat. What happened when you put the Leke amulet in your hand? What happened? What did you feel?
When I put it in this hand and I was having that carpal tunnel issues for work, the pain is gone, like literally gone. The
Wow.
pain is gone. It would just still have a little ache or throb to it, but now it's gone.
Okay.
Completely
Leke.
gone.
Yeah. That's Leke. And what you do is you commune with it, talk to it, because that's from the cave ceiling of it in Thailand that the Buddhist monk chants, and the stone comes down from the ceiling like a snake. So it has a living spirit to it.
This is deep.
Yep.
I literally have no pain. Literally.
That's beautiful.
It literally went away. It went, as soon as I touched it, it felt like a little lightness. I'm like, why? I was feeling heavy before I saw you on this arm.
Wow.
I just didn't say nothing because me and Sarai, we talked about it yesterday. And then today I see you and hold this.
Yeah, and I just got the mail. So
Yeah.
it's supposed to be for you.
And because I was.
Wow.
That's deep. That's deep, Hank.
Yes.
Can't make this up.
You blessed her with that, Hank?
Huh?
You blessed her with that?
Yo, it blessed. I took it out the envelope because, and I handed, something just said hand it to her. And then it zapped her as soon as she put it in her hand.
Nice.
You give
Beautiful.
more things away than you sell. You know that, right?
He
You know what?
do. He sure do.
If you saw my collections of things over the decades that he has given me that I still have,
Mm-hmm.
But that's the Lord. That's the way
Hank.
that's the way
That's how
we're
we
supposed
roll.
to do. That's how we
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
we get
Same
it.
thing, and then you don't lose anything, you just gain.
Thank you.
You-
Thank you.
You can't receive if you don't give, baby.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
That's
called,
reciprocity.
that's the spelling. Somebody More Soul Knowledge TV.
Yeah, that's it.
LAI.
That's how I spell.
LAI, yeah. All right.
Hank, I'm gonna have to get off this show. God
Let's
bless
go. All of us get out of
you.
here.
And,
'Cause
Deborah,
I want to ride my bike.
you gonna ride your bike at night? Okay. And Brother Baraka, I hope you enjoy yourself in your backyard because it looks like you having a ball back there, a little private party, but we ain't gonna go there.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's the
Okay.
boom boom room.
Y'all ready to roll out of here?
No, I gotta say thank you to Master Nicki.
Master Nicki?
I asked her to
Thank
please
you.
join to
Yes.
talk about this because sound is very important and we take it a lot for granted, but you're talking to a master sonic alchemist right here to kind of break it
I
down
said,
what it means. So thank you very much, young lady. Thank you, Master Nicki.
Thank you,
And,
Lloyd.
and
Thank you,
people are
Master
saying thank you
Lloyd.
all.
thanks for the vibes.
Yes.
All right. And
I
we're
can
going
tell you feel the vibes, brother.
Yeah.
night, night, y'all.
I